This is an Ellis Mowers and More small engine repair. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. Parts used in today's repair are found using the links in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. On today's repair, we're going to work on this old Wheel Horse 312 garden tractor here. It is in decent shape overall. Story behind this one, it's actually my father-in-law's mom's that they used at her house, and it just got parked a while back. Just stopped working. I actually don't know why. We're going to investigate that. It has been sitting for quite a few years. Everything is there. I have a bunch of different parts and stuff for it as well. So I'm going to see if we can get it back going. I've already kind of started a couple of little things on it. I do know that I have power when I jump the starter solenoid terminals. Now the starter solenoid on this looks like it has been on here a long time, so I'm betting that the starter solenoid itself is bad. Hopefully the ignition switch is not bad, but we'll see when we get into it. I would love to get this running again. A lot of sentiment on the in-laws side, and he did say, you know, they didn't need it anymore. He said, you know, fix it and make what you can off of it, and you know, we'll see what comes about there. So, I'll give you a walk around this 312 Wheel Horse. It's around a 1979 model, and I'll show you what we're going to try and do to get this thing running again. Well, if you heard all them dingings a little bit earlier, it's because somebody's interested in that Cub Cadet 70 that y'all saw a while back. Just in line with another classic tractor here, I suppose. This one is... See, I don't know a ton about these old classic tractors. I do enjoy working on them and learning, because there's a lot of people my age that have zero interest in these things, and I like to keep them going at least. I need to check the oil in this. Oh man, the oil is clean and full, so that's excellent. I already put a new battery in and a couple of new fuses just to eliminate the obvious. The starter solenoid is very rough, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that as a preventative as well. What else we got going on here? Again, the big garden tractor rear tires. It's got an 8-speed transmission. You got a high-low, so 4 high, 4 low. 12 horsepower Kohler on it. Cast iron. K301S engine. And a 40, I don't know how many inches this mower deck is. Probably a 44 or 46. I don't think it shows on there. I can't read it. 0542. It may only be a 42 actually. It just feels bigger because it's on this garden tractor. Let's see. Gas tank back here. Transmission back here. Oh my goodness. It looks like the fuel line may have been replaced at one point. And the gas, I don't know about the gas in it. It smells pretty bad, so we're probably going to have to pull the tank on it. Wash it out, clean it up a little bit. So, first order of business, I just want to see if I can get this thing to at least turn over for us. And might hook up like a little gravity feed tank or something just to see if I can get it to run like that. And then we'll just continue on. Starter solenoid is just a couple of, I gotta pull the, I'm gonna pull the battery back off, but a couple of 3/8 here, and so 3 posts, so it's just a couple of 3/8 and a couple of 7/16 to get that off. I'm wondering if I can get that off, if everything will, ignition switch wise, will work again. So let me go ahead and take care of that, and I'll rejoin you in a second. Alright, we have got the new starter solenoid in, as you can see, and we've got a little bit of turning action now. as you can see, it's just like the motor's froze up or something for whatever reason. So what I'm going to do next, obviously we have that to get out, the little mouse nest here that has come, but I can feel it. I don't know if I can just knock that starter back out, but I do need to take off the, let's see, what would I need to take off here? I got a couple of wires, a couple wires off the top here, or I can just take off the igniter, or the equivalent of the cap and rotor. I cannot think of the terminology right now, guys. I'm so sorry. Looks like, let's see, it just looks like we've got a bunch of junk caught up in the starter right here. So a couple of 7/16 should get that off and then get this cover removed. So let me go ahead and do that. We'll clean up this mouse nest and see if we can get this engine to spin over freely. As long as we can do that, then I'll put the cover back on and then we'll see if we can start it up. Or at least get it to turn over after that. Alright, quick vacuum. Got everything cleaned out from the mouse nest under here. And the good news is, I'm not going to kick it too much, but, well, y'all can see that it turns over now. Let me see if I can get this out of the way enough to do this. So that's good, right? Alright, so we're going to put this all back together and spark plug back in it, and we might hit it with a little starter fluid to see if it'll kick over. And then if so, what we'll do after that is we will we got to get the fuel tank out. So that's going to take a little bit of time in order to get everything off, in order so I can get the fuel tank off of it. But after that, we'll get the fuel tank off. We'll see if the fuel pump is pumping fuel, and if it is, then good. And we'll just keep on cruising on after that. We got to make sure it sparks as well. That's another important thing, right? I'm gonna get these bolts back on. Again, it was just an array of bolts to get it off to this point, and see what we got. So got it all back together. Unfortunately, we don't have any sparks, so it's probably point related. And I think I have a set of points. We'll do that after I take a little lunch here. But yeah, so I got everything plugged in. I don't think there's any like safety switches on this thing, but so no spark. So man, it's been a minute since I've done some points. It's been like 10 years, I think, because I don't get machines like this very often. Your points are going to be right down here behind this cover. I'm going to disconnect the battery, sand them down, and hopefully they'll come back. If they don't, the good news is, well, hopefully it's just points. These never go out, I don't think. But this Cub Cadet, in the box here, the guy gave me a set of points. So we may throw them in there. See what we got. Love to have this thing to where it'll at least kick over on starting fluid for the end of the day today. So we'll open up the points. I'm going to sand them down. I'll show you all that and see if we get spark back. So just to give you an idea, we got this zoomed in, but here's the muffler on the right front, and the points are underneath here, right there, right? So what I'm going to do, the points do look a little bit dirty where they make contact here, so I'm just going to take a little sandpaper and just sand them down a little bit. See if we can get them nice and sharp again. I'm hoping this is the only issue. So let me sand them down a little bit. Got a little dirt off of them, I think. Let me see before we do this. Hey! Let me show y'all real quick. A spark, right? So we got the spark back with doing that to the point, so that's good. Let me put the cover back on. Worst case, we have to change out the points, which I have here because I had it on the Cub Cadet. So let me take care of that. I'll get to the point where we're going to throw a little starting fluid in it, see if we can get this thing to run. All right, so let me get y'all back a little bit here. I'm going to throw a little bit of spray into the front here. I'm going to hop on it, or at least push down the clutch, because the belt right here's belt tension is going to slow it down a little bit. Also don't want it to take off for whatever strange reason. So all right. Oh. All right. So let's see. Will it run? Maybe. I did put a lot of WD-40 in here, so it could be. Sounds good. It's not firing though. I may have had the throttle down and it wasn't. That might have been it. The throttle butterfly might have been closed, but I thought it would have still tried to hit there. I mean, it could be a bad plug, or I could, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see the plug real quick. There it is. Oh. Make sure the plug is sparking here. I'm hoping it is. Let me just take a look. Here's what I'll do. I'll plug. Oh, let me check this first, though. I just want to hear this thing run, guys. I just want to hear it run. Let's see. Yep. She's nice and blue, which is good. Could just maybe not be getting into the actual crankcase, which I thought it would, but let's see what this does. Got a strong blue spark, so I would assume that this will want to. Ooh. Hey, hey. It wanted to, didn't it? Let's try this one more time here with the. Throw a bunch punch in there and see what happens. Hey! That's better. That's better. How about that? Now the choke is stuck. I think it just needed to come to life, y'all. A little bit more here. Let's see. Awesome. That's great. So, one thing I gotta do, I gotta free up the choke linkage. I don't know if it's the actual, oh, it's the cable that's frozen like I thought. Probably have to replace it, but. So, well, let's see if that works its magic any. Probably not, unfortunately. So, probably got to get a choke cable for it, which I can probably muster up one. That's fantastic. So, now, started solenoid, cleaned the points, got it to start and run with starter fluid. Next order of business I need to do, that tank is absolutely nasty. So I need to pull that tank. Need to pull the whole rear fender and everything off of it so that I can get that tank out. Hopefully it's fairly easy to get to. The only thing I got to make sure of is if the, well, let's see, the fuel line down there, the fuel pump works, and we've got to replace all the fuel line and stuff too. So we still got a long ways to go before we actually get this thing running up to snuff again, but we've made good progress so far. All right, there are 8 bolts on the back of that frame, like 4 that keep the seat on, and then 4 more that keep the back fender on. And so now we have access to the tank that really needs cleaning, and all the fuel lines going up from the tank all the way up to the front of the machine. So here it all is right there, and it kind of looks like, is this all bolted in too? So it looks like what I've got to do now in order to get the tank off, and it's possible that I can just wash the tank. No, I need to turn it over. So, how are we going to do this? So it looks like, let's see. It almost looks like it's just wedged into place right here. I don't see where there's any bolts holding it in. Which is kind of weird. Looks like what I'm going to have to do though is take off these brackets. Oh no, there's something up front here. Let me see if I can scrape enough stuff away here. My tools are all in disarray right now. Yeah, there we are. Looks like a couple of 1/2-inch bolts right here in the front. So, let me pull those off. Ooh. seat safety jumpered. I do still have the switch. I may put it back on. All right. Now, a little bit more. Okay, now we should just slide out, right? Maybe? Maybe not. Okay. Oh, I think I got a couple more brackets down here on the bottom. All right, I'm going to get to where this tank can slide out or do whatever it needs to here. Once I get all that taken care of, yeah, I feel a couple of bolts down there that's probably holding it in. So we'll get this thing slid out. I'll just cut the fuel line and we'll be in good shape. So we'll get there. I think once I clean the fuel system, we'll be, as long as the fuel pump works, hopefully the carb isn't messed up. I want to try it, make sure the fuel is pumping up, and then get it to the carb before I break into the carb because of all the seals and stuff in there. If it's good, I don't want to mess with it. So I'll get them, like I said, those bolts are like down here somewhere. I'm going to get them off and see what we got after that. All right, so it's just those two bolts on the bottom, and this thing, I've cut the line as well. We're going to slide it out. Of course, this thing is nasty under here because it was underneath the fender and everything. But there's just a bunch of junk in it. I don't know if y'all can see it down there. But I'm going to give it a really, really good wash and let it wash all the stuff out. Probably replace the tank grommet on the bottom as well. As long as it's not raining, I'll go out there and let it just do its thing. Scrape off all this junk and stuff on it. And while that's drying, I'll go ahead and replace all the fuel line and stuff on it as well. And I mean, it looks like it's fairly straightforward. It just runs from the back through the frame, the right side of the frame. It looks like it's been replaced at some point too, up to the front of the machine. So let's make this look a little bit better, gas tank wise. All right, guys, I have washed out the tank. I also kind of sloshed a little bit of gas in there just to kind of get the water and stuff completely out, or as good as I can. And it is, from what I can tell. I put a little motor treatment in there too. That seems to help kind of dissolve the water also. Fuel line wise, let me show you how this runs if I can. So it's going to run through, they had a zip tie right here, but then there's like a little hole that the line runs through, kind of on the top right of your screen there. It runs through there, and then once you get the other side, if you reach under here, there's actually like a little clip that looks like that you lock the fuel line into so it doesn't rub against the steering shaft and stuff. I put a fuel filter on it and then ran it around the bottom of the engine here, and it goes around here up to the fuel pump right there. So then obviously you run it from the fuel pump up to the carburetor right here, and that's it. I'm going to get the fuel tank back installed again. Again, it has those 4 mounting areas. I put a new tank grommet and stuff on it too. So those 2 screws in the bottom down here, and then the area at the top here that it slides into. So I can probably show you all how to do this. And then it's just a matter of bolting the fender back on, which we'll do that in a second. I do need to make sure that the seat safety is not going to cause it to not run either. So let's do this. just gonna slide in like that. I do need to find a new gas cap as well, but we have these bolts that go up top here, and we'll just kind of get them in place. That way they're ready to go. And then I have a couple of bolts that go on the bottom down here as well. And those bolts, let's see, are right here, and they're gonna go, let's see if I can show this to y'all pretty easily. Literally just reach under here. And they will screw into your, like the actual tank itself. So that's kind of an interesting design, but it has held up for 8, 9, 10, 11, 45 years, so can't really say that other machines have done that. Could you see us using modern machines in 45 years? I'll believe it when I see it, that's for sure. Alright, we will, I'm just going to run those down, hook the fuel line up, find a gas cap for it, fill it up. Next step is going to see if the fuel pump's working, if it's going to pump gas up there, and if it does, then we'll see if it will run. We'll put another line on it, going to the carburetor, see if it'll run. Alright, we're going to see if this thing will crank over and pulse a little bit now. I've put the fuel tank and everything back on, and just going to see if it will. So yeah, I don't see where it's pulsing, unfortunately. Or is it? No. I wonder if I can prime it with a little bit of pressure here. Let me see. Did that work? Oh, we're not getting any gas up through there right now. Interesting. I'm going to keep looking at this just to make sure that the fuel grommet and everything isn't blocked or something like that. I would think that whenever I force it like that, it should start trying to fill up the fuel filter there. So keep on working. Wouldn't surprise me if I have a dead fuel pump though. Okay, so after I took and pulled the line off of the front here, I was able to get the fuel filter and everything, the line, I primed everything up to this pump here, and this pump is just not pumping gas anymore, which is, you know, what I kind of figured that it would be the case. So I'll get a fuel pump on the way. Carburetor's not looking very promising. So I might just, depending on how much it is, I might just order one. I'm going to check it here in just a second. Just pull the bowl off, because when I loosened the nut for the bowl nut, it decided, it leaked out a little bit, and it was brown. So Makes me think a little bit of water's gotten in there, something along those lines. Again, these carbs aren't too bad, and then I just need to figure out a choke cable situation as well. So I'm gonna put the battery tray and stuff back on it because this battery will probably stay in it, and a couple other things, and I think we'll just be waiting on a K301S fuel pump and potentially a carburetor next. So I ended up buying one of these kits here. I'll link to it on Amazon, what I bought. Just based on seeing how bad the gas was when I pulled that bowl nut out and all of that, I just said, you know what, let's just do this whole system while we're here. So now that I got it, it was like 2 weeks after I got it, unfortunately, just in the amount of time. I do need to swap the choke cable out, and so I'll take care of that as well. But we're gonna just go to town on this and change everything out from the fuel pump to the carb. So let's go ahead and go to town. Well, y'all saw me put the fuel pump and the carb on. Not too bad. I do need to put the choke on still, but I can just flip it on here in the front as needed. I'm going to turn this over a little bit just to see if we can get it to pump fuel. Hopefully, if it pumps fuel, I'll throw the choke on and maybe it'll start on its own. The battery in it should be good, so let's tell you what, I'm going to hold that brake down over there with a bungee, and then we'll give it a shot. Hopefully it'll work. All right, so let's... I just want to hold this brake down. That should work. Get a couple of these items off of here so they don't fly away. And hopefully if we did all this right, we'll have some gas pumping. So, we're full of oil as well, so let's make sure we can... Yeah, I don't know yet. Still don't see it pumping for some reason. Or maybe it is. Still don't think it's pumping fuel, which is weird. I wonder if I have the shutoff off. Now everything's on because I have gas in it. It may may not have enough gas. Let me throw a little gas in it here. Okay, that should be enough. I don't have anything restricting it from what I can tell. So what I'm going to do is spray a little carb spray in and see if I can get it to pump. Alright. Maybe one day, y'all. Maybe one day. Alright, so let me see if this will work. Are we not getting spark now? Is that possible? I may have to clean the points again. Yep. Alright, so I do need to clean the points one more time. Right down here. I think I've already had to do this once on this machine, so let me grab a little sandpaper. Got spark back by sanding the points. Let's see if we can make something happen. This is probably still going to do the carb spray, but maybe it'll stay running this time. Yeah, maybe the carb spray dissolved. We can try this. It is possible we flooded it too, as I put more carb spray in here. Does not want to hit for some reason. This has kind of been the story of the day in the garage with the other machines that I have here too. Man. We'll just make sure that we're getting good spark one more time. Just kind of weird. Yeah. Getting really good spark. But no fire. Or we're getting fuel, we're getting fire, but we're not getting any go. So I'll look at the spark plug, see if the spark plug, I'll change that out, see if that makes any difference. And keep on working here, see if I can get this thing to fire. Alright, I put carb spray directly into the plug hole, so let's see if it'll at least fire now. Yeah, it's still not pulling gas up for some reason. That's kind of odd. I don't know why. I don't get it. See if we can at least get it to fire through the... I don't get it. It's like it's not got enough fire to try and get through the intake or something. Can't really tell. Unless I'm still dealing with bad gas here, but now I'm getting gas coming out. Huh. Well, y'all, I'm going to keep troubleshooting here. I just want to see again if I'm actually getting fuel coming up to the carb. And of course, that fuel line is on there. So I may just pull it off of the fuel pump down here. Pull it up a little bit if I can. Come on now. I just want to see if it's pumping out of the fuel pump, because right now it seems like we've got an issue. Like it's just not got enough I'm not sure. Let's see. This will tell us if it's pumping out of the fuel pump at least. Yeah, we're getting stuff out of the fuel pump, so it's pumping it into the carb. It kind of looks like we've still got some water in it though. So at least we've got fuel pump action now, which is good. Man. It just won't. It will not fire for anything right now. Even when I spray carb spray right there. Where is it coming out at? Now it's coming out the fuel pump down here on the bottom. Gosh darn it. Alright, well, I'm going to keep on trying here, and I'll let y'all know. Alright, so experimenting around, I had to put another fuel end on it, and after some trial and error, it did kick off for me. I didn't want to spoil the first run here, but I think we have finally got it. I think. Let's see. I'm going to pull the throttle down just a little bit so we don't go crazy on it. Maybe it was just running on starting fluid for that time. Well, I don't know. First time that thing's running a long, long time right there. Unfortunately, though, I think I've compromised this fuel pump, which ain't that big of a deal because, well, it's just not that big of a deal because those fuel pumps suck. So I'm gonna get a proper fuel pump for this. That's like a Kohler one, because I don't know what's going on with this thing, but I don't know why it's pumping or screwing gas or messing gas like it is, but this carb and everything was like, it was like $3 more to get one with the fuel pump and stuff on it. So I'm not terribly like mad at this, but it's just like these things suck. They got these plastic fittings and stuff in them. So I'm just gonna see if I can find one, which means we'll put this on the back burner for another few days, unfortunately. But we do know that it runs. I just don't want to spark a fire or anything in here with this thing running it for any longer than I need to. So I may just try and wiggle this in a little bit more to see if I can get it to seal up better. But it's not looking like it wants to. So, which is really unfortunate. Let me see if I can, I don't know if I can get like a little screwdriver or something to try and push it in further, but that's as far as it wants to go. And it wants to leak on me, so I can try it one more time, but bad. So, but we at least have got this thing running on its own finally. So I'm gonna source a proper fuel pump for this that actually will work with the machine. Hopefully, may even give. Well, the old one's bad, I can tell you that. Yeah, so I'll swap a fuel pump on this, put a new choke cable on it, and this thing will be ready to run. Get out of this garage because I need the space. Look at this. This is just like, just to give you an idea of how the day is going. You'll probably already see this video, and most of y'all probably don't care, but a no charging issue on this ended up being flywheel magnets when, of course, you just want it to be a voltage regulator. And then I got a Toro out there that was supposed to just be a starter swap because this broke off of it. But mower's super nice, but it's rust ridged. So I've got, those are two that were supposed to be like hour jobs at the most, and now we're sitting here with flywheels off and rust rings inside cylinders. So this is a great cap to the day. We're going to end the day here. All you can do is laugh sometimes. I'll get a fuel pump on it. This is a very simple fix once I get that, and then we'll be ready to roll after that on this, hopefully. And then we'll figure out drive issues, and I know the brake doesn't work right, and maybe a couple of other things, but we'll see what else we've got in store here when it comes to this. Well, I don't know how many weeks later it is since I have filmed the previous clip on this, but you know, busy season. Now we've got a little bit of dry weather, really dry weather around here. figured, hey, let's see if I can get this thing out of the garage. So what I did is I had to change out one of the ends on the fuel pump and put one of them clamps, one of them worm clamps on it. And that seems to have stopped the fuel leaking issue. The thing is though, now I've got an issue with it surging, but the thing is, like, we're going to see if this thing will drive forward and backwards. We're not going to test the deck right now, but we are going to see, like I said, see if it'll drive for us. I'm just going to put this choke table, because we do have to replace the choke table on this. It is completely frozen, but let's let me start this thing up and let's see. See if we can drive this thing out of here. It's been a long time coming. A long time coming. How cool though. 1979 machine ready to rock. Looks like the PTO's ready to go as well. The issue that I've got, something going on with the brake here. I don't know exactly what's going on. But, so I've got the issue with the brake, the front end, and we need to free the deck up. Obviously figure out how to get the carb right and everything. But the goal of getting it running and driving is there. Excuse me, fuel lines everywhere. New fuel pump. Don't think we're leaking gas. I don't think. Let me double check myself here. We are looking dry now, which is good, so that's good. You can see it trying to roll, but we'll put it in gear here just so it doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, so that's nice. This is rear discharge, you can see. Got the adjustable anti-scout wheels and all of that good stuff. So that's really good. I'm excited. This has been a long time coming. I've probably had this thing in the garage, or in the lean-to / garage, for nearly 3 years now, and ready to move on it. And like I said, it's going to be a really good machine once we get everything fixed. And I just need to check everything, get everything freed up from the deck there. May have to pull the mower deck off and just get it all freed up, lubed up, and all of that good stuff. But that's fantastic. Alright guys, so we'll make this a two-parter. We'll end part 1 right here on the wheel horse, and we'll pick up part 2 in the next video. But for how long this machine is set, a carburetor, a complete fuel system, overhaul, and a new fuel pump, and I think what I had to do something with the safety switches, put a couple new fuses in it as well, new fuel filter, got it back going again. And so, I mean, I can't really complain about that, right? So, next video, what I'll do, pull the mower deck off. Gonna check and see if I can get everything freed up on it. If I can, then that'll be awesome. Get this thing cutting grass again, which would be great. If I can get this running, driving, and cutting, then it's, you know, a few $100, probably $600 to $700 in the current condition that it's in, because people absolutely love these things. And I just need to figure out the whole brake situation there too. So we'll have to figure that out as well. I forgot I had to put a starter solenoid on it also. So had to do quite a bit of things to it to get it to this condition. However, hopefully we are on the way to the finish line, so to speak, on this, so which is going to be great. I'm going to park it in the back for right now, free up some garage space so that I can get some machines in and out a little bit better, because that kind of took up the whole back half of my work area in the garage. But in part 2, we'll hopefully finish this thing up. We're not doing a complete restoration on this thing. That is not my business around here. What I will be doing is getting it into a running, driving, and cutting state to where it's reliable, it runs good, and does everything that it needs to. And then sell it. Somebody will appreciate it, and somebody may even potentially restore it. It just kind of depends on who gets it, really. So thanks again for watching this small engine repair video. We will catch back up with part 2 on this wheel horse in the next video. Take care, and I'll see you next time.